HMRC, the only letters of the alphabet that I don't want to speak about.
HMRC are cracking down on vintage sellers making a profit on their sales.
Everything I have is about to be gone. It's about to be to the tax man.
Got my paycheck. Why am I seeing like £350 deduction? Over £200 tax and near £100 for national insurance.
My dad passed 3 months ago today. During all this time, while my mum has been dealing with grief, she was today told that she is not entitled to my father's state pension.
Why are HMRC going after the likes of you and me over a pair of second-hand pants? Go after the millionaires, the billionaires.
I am red with rage, okay? Every time I need to speak to HMRC, that robot won't connect me to a person.
HMRC, quick to take your cash, nowhere to be found when you need answers. Lose a receipt, they'll hound you. Lose your money, wait 12 weeks. Today on Brit Rants, we're tearing into the tax office TikTok can't stop raging about. The hold music hell, the vanishing refunds, the threats, the stress. The people have had enough of being treated like criminals just for trying to get answers. Let's get into it. And if HMRC has ever ruined your day, your year, or your mental health, hit subscribe. This one's for you.
Yeah, I'm back again because I got an increase in my pay at work, right? Little percent, right? Got my paycheck. Why am I seeing like £350 deduction? Over £200 tax and near £100 for national insurance. When I tell you, I might just have to snap my ankle to get use out of this national insurance, because where do you think you're going? When I phone my GP, I'm all 60 in the queue. I'm number 60 in the queue. I'm going to the pharmacy on your recommendation to get medications for stuff that I might not even have. You're giving me a cream for something when I might need to have antibiotics because I've got an infection, I've got a chest infection, but you're giving me cream because, do you know what I mean? The maths isn't mathsing, right? You're taking the money, we're spending our dollar and not getting the service. So you need to be increasing them services if you're charging that kind of dollar, or you need to be like reducing the dollar because you can't meet the service. It's like going for a meal and them saying it's £100, but you've only had a £5 sandwich. Like, make it make sense. Make it make sense. Listen, Rishi needs to sort out his blood clot, because the way the world is going, it's cheaper to snap an ankle and go in hospital for a few months than it is to live in a yard and pay bills. So that's what I might have to do. I might have to go and throw myself down the stairs to get some financial respite from this pay increase where?
You know who takes the piss? HMRC, Her Majesty's Revenue and Custom. Because I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. The moment I owe you money, you're so quick to suck it and be sending me brown letters and be sending bailiffs to the doors. But the moment I say, yo, you're taxing me incorrect, it's, me don't know about that, you know. No. Do you know how long I've been on the wrong tax code for, yeah? And I've been trying to get it changed because I knew I was going to hit the limit, and I hit the limit. These have been taxing me for the past 6 weeks. I get paid weekly. They've been taking like £100 out of my paycheck each week. Do you know how disrespectful that is? Only for them to run it by now. I mean, this paycheck is hefty. I'll allow that. But why? Listen, we can't deal with the people, you know. Look, they're too. But listen, go tax the person who's getting their private jet sent to Monaco to evade your taxes. Because you, man, all they care about is the rich, fam. They just want to take from the poor and give to the rich. And at this point, I'm trying to be the rich because evidently I can get away with murder. Yeah, but moral of the story is I got my money. I'm going back to sleep. Night. And yes, I'm aware a phone call to them probably would have made it easy to change the tax code. But last time I called them, I was on hold for 2 hours. And I guess what? I'm not doing that again. I got things to do, like sleep, yeah, and watch TV.
as I'm off today, I thought I'd sort some things out on the phone. Had to phone HMRC. On the phone for 52 minutes, 45 minutes of which was on hold listening to their blinking awful music, just trying to get through. Absolutely ridiculous. I don't even know how that operates in the real world. I mean, in business, at private companies, if we left our clients hanging on for that period of time, they'd bog off to somewhere else, wouldn't they? But of course, we don't have any choice. When you have to phone the government department for tax and you just get stuck in a bloody queue for days on end. Who's got time to be ringing these people? I'm like, literally, can I do this on my day off because that's how long it takes? And I wrote to them on the 5th of March. No bloody answer. And that's why I had to ring. Honestly, it's literally the most ridiculous thing in the world having to ring these people, isn't it? What a waste of time.
Okay, TikTok, this is a bit of a weird one for me. My dad passed 3 months ago today. We cremated him 2 months ago today. During all this time, while my mum has been dealing with grief, anger, sadness, multiple other emotions, and at the same time trying to figure out what she's going to do for money and everything else for the rest of her life, she was today told that she is not entitled to my father's state pension. Now, I want you to understand that my dad has worked every day of his life, pretty much, since he was 16, if not younger. He's paid his taxes all of his life. And now his wife isn't entitled to his state pension, which means that the government are basically stealing his money. I want you to blow this up. Make it viral. I want the people of Britain to know. I want the government to know. I want them to know what the f*** they are doing to my mother, because it is tearing her apart right now. She doesn't know what she's going to do. She doesn't know she's going to be able to stay in her own house. I am someone who struggles desperately to show the slightest bit of emotion, but when it comes to anger, I've got that narrowed down, and right now the government has pissed me right off. Thank you for listening to my rant. I recommend that if you are married, you check out your pensions to make sure they go to your other half. Put something in place. Because right now my mum doesn't know what she's going to do for the future.
HMRC are cracking down on Vinted sellers making a profit on their sales. Check this out. Online sellers on Vinted could end up paying tax after HMRC have introduced a new year tax clampdown. People have dubbed this the side hustle tax, but how do we know if we need to pay tax on our earnings on Vinted? The threshold for the earnings on this side hustle tax is £1,000. So, with that being said, if you're making more than £1,000 on Vinted, you do need to register as self-employed. This would mean that you would have to file a self-assessment tax return with HMRC to make sure they know how much you're making on these apps such as Vinted. Online platforms will require to submit seller information to HMRC, and this will start in January 2025. This will include your tax ID, bank account details, and how many transactions and sales you've made on the app such as Depop, Facebook Marketplace, or Vinted. So if you're earning less than £1,000 from Vinted, you have absolutely nothing to worry about, but if you are earning more than the £1,000 tax threshold, you might have to think about registering for self-assessment next year.
When I say I'm praying for the self-employed girlies right now, I'm praying because it's January. I just filed my taxes. Have I saved any money to pay my taxes? No, I haven't. So now I'm gonna be wiped clean out. Oh, everything I have is about to be gone. Is about to be to the tax man. When will I learn? Like, at what age will I start saving to pay my taxes? Because I'm 28 years old and every year it's the same thing, and every year you'd think I'd learn, but no, my bill isn't even that bad. But I just don't plan ahead. I forget that, oh, the money that I earn, I've got to pay taxes on that. I have to pay the tax man. So I'm truly praying for anyone that is like me and doesn't want to pay HMRC. HMRC, I'm going to pay you. But I'm stressed. When I got that bill through, I finished my taxes last night at like 2 a.m. And now it's going to financially cripple me. So I'm praying for any of you self-employed girlies out there that are like me and you don't save. when will I start being an adult and start saving for these things? I don't know.
HMRC, the only letters of the alphabet that I don't want to speak about. People are talking about mental health issues or mental issues. HMRC, they are the number one cause of mental issues in the UK. The stress that these people can give. I think for people who are dealing with our money, when you're taking our taxes and cutting up all the money that people work so hard to make, your wait time should be literally less than a minute, because you have to explain to me where all these taxes are coming from, why I'm paying so much tax, like I own half of this country. And then you get through to someone who is so rude, and then you escalate it, and then someone just comes to say sorry. I don't even know what I want them to do. HMRC. It's like if I breathe, they're gonna tax me for breathing. We need tax education.
I am red with rage, okay? Every time I need to speak to HMRC, that robot won't connect me to a person. I actually can't. When I applied for settled status, yeah, this is actually the part of being an immigrant in this fucking goddamn country. I have indefinite leave to remain, okay? I never got offered a biometric permit, which now you apparently need for everything on that goddamn website. I need both a UK passport and a UK driver's license. I've got one of them. I ain't got the what do they tell me to do? Get the government ID check app and scan your face on it. It'll work. I've been trying to do that for the last hour, okay? It got to the point where they were like, you have 2 attempts left on proving your identity. If not, we're gonna lock you out your government gateway ID account. So I'm like, right, clearly it's not scanning my correctly. What can I do? So then they're like, oh, contact our access services. They give me a number. I ring this fucking number and this robot will connect me to anyone. She just sends me text messages being like, oh, here's the links to the websites that will help you. Bitch, I've tried.
Hello there, I just got this letter through in the post from you guys saying I'm getting a fine for not paying my tax, but I don't owe you any tax. What do you mean I probably will next year? That's not how it works. In fact, I just looked on my HMRC account. It says that you guys actually owe me £900. Hello? Oh, finally, yes, hi, it's me from 9 hours ago. Yeah, I think we got disconnected. What have I been doing for 9 hours? I've just been on hold the whole time. Yeah. No, I haven't been working. What do you mean you're going to tax me anyway? No, listen, you guys owe me money. What do you mean you don't have it? What you spent it on? What hotels? Just to get this straight, right? Look, if we owe you money and we don't pay, we go to prison, don't we? Yeah. But if you owe us money and you don't pay, who goes to prison then? As it's still me.
Hi everyone, Angry Britain here, and in today's What the Fuck is Going On in Britain is the news that HMRC are now expecting the likes of eBay and Depop and Vinted, etc. to start reporting what their users are earning on the platform. So if you're selling a pair of second-hand socks or a rusty old bike that's been in your garage for 6 years, HMRC are now going to know about it and come after you for tax. Now you can earn a limit, I think it's £1,000 before you have to declare your tax. But these are items that you already own, have already bought, have already used, have depreciated, and you're probably selling at a loss anyway. Now, under normal business circumstances, if you sell things at a loss, you get to write the loss off against tax, not pay tax on it. This is just ridiculous. Why are HMRC going after the likes of you and me over a pair of second-hand pants? Go after the millionaires, the billionaires, the squillionaires like eBay and Amazon who are squirming out of paying any bloody tax at all. Go after them, the big fish, not the little guys. It'll be an administrative bloody nightmare anyway, and you're going to get 3p. What is the point? And more to the point, what right do you have to understand every last thing that British people are doing? You don't. We go to work, we pay tax via PAYE like we always have done. If we want to sell a few bits of shit on the side on eBay, that's none of your bloody business. There are plenty of businesses on eBay to go after. The ones importing plastic shit from China and selling it for 3p. Go after them. Don't go after individual users. That's not fair. It just isn't fair, and it isn't right, and it's none of your bloody business. And eBay, Vinted and Depop should tell the government to piss off. They're all bloody registered abroad anyway. Sod 'em. This is just smacks of absolute desperation by the government to claw back as much money as it possibly can that it pissed up the wall during COVID. Never mind what's her face moaning a 60 million quid she earned through selling inefficient PPE. Come after us selling a second-hand bike. What a bloody brilliant idea that is. God's sake, just stop this nonsense. The sooner the general election comes in this country, the better. And get rid of this bloody lot. Get them out. Send them on their way and let someone else have a go at it. It just drives me mental. It's like, whatever next? What can they think of next to extract money from people? People who just want to go to work and get on. People that have spent Christmas freezing to death in their houses because they can't afford to heat their homes. Enough now. HMRC, piss off, mind your own business. Thanks for listening.
Hello. Hello, Mr. Bowden. My name's Owen. I'm calling from the HMRC. Is everything groovalicious for you today?
Yeah, I suppose.
I don't care. I'm ringing as it looks like you've sold an old jumper on Depop for £4.38 just now. Is that correct, Amundo?
Yeah.
Right, and were you going to tell us about that, or...?
Do I need to?
Let me just check my computer here. It says yes you do, you little fanny.
What?
And I couldn't help but notice that when you went to visit your grandma last Tuesday, she put a £5 note in your hand as you were leaving. Is that correct, Amundo?
Yeah. Wait, how do you know she...
And you didn't think to tell us about that either?
No, why would I? It's £5 off my grandma.
I understand that, sir, but we will be claiming tax on that £5, and if she does do it again without informing us, she may be liable for us giving her a knuckle sandwich, okay?
You're gonna punch my grandma?
No, of course not. Because she won't do it again, will she? And if it's anything over a fiver, she'll be getting elbow dropped to that coffee table of hers, alright?
What is going on?
It also says here you babysat for your friend Dean last week. Is that correct, Amundo?
Yes, it's correct, Amundo, but he paid me in spaghetti bolognese. How is that?
Right, well, you owe us 20% of that spag bowl, you little gimp.
Alright, bloody hell, I'll post it tomorrow.
And are you going to make sure he tells about anything extra you make from now on?
Yes, of course.
Right. Perfect.
Shouldn't you be going after millionaire tax dodgers? People using loopholes and that?
Well, maybe I'm going to do that right after I'm done talking to you.
Right.
And just out of curiosity, does his son still have that paper around?
Yeah.
We'll put that little prick on the phone.
This video is specifically aimed at the monster who works for HMRC who decided on what the hold music was going to be. And I don't just mean the music that loops every 30 seconds. I mean the music that loops every 30 seconds but is also interrupted every 15 seconds by an automated voice telling you to stay on the line and continue to hold, but in such a way that when it interrupts you think someone's answered the phone, and in fact they haven't. They didn't. It's just the robot lady yet again. And then you sit on hold for 56 minutes and then the robot lady tells you thank you for calling, goodbye, and she hangs up on you. Like, this is a call to the tax office. In no circumstances is that going to be a stress-free conversation. And yet someone thought that this was a good user experience to create. I am astonished, I am concerned, and I am overall begging someone at HMRC who's on TikTok to do something about this. I waste literal hours of my life every year on hold to HMRC chasing up tax forms for my foreign publishers. That hold music is the bane of my life, and not in the sexy Anthony Bridgerton way.
I promise you I'm seconds, milliseconds away from doing fraud, selling drugs, anything like that. Like, I've just paid my tax return, and as the payment's just gone out my bank, like instantly out my bank, I'm just thinking, like, who from the tax office has been here at this office jugging with me? Who's packed orders? Who's designed cards? Who's got on the TikTok lives? Who from HMRC has been here helping me while I'm paying them? Who? Every January, that bill never gets easier. It cuts me so deep how much money they want to take. I don't understand what the calculations are, where they're getting the calculations from. I literally don't understand it. I'm seconds away from ringing up a couple of people I know, because I know a man who could help me out and get a shot line. I can start selling drugs tonight. Like, if I'm being brutally honest, yeah, according to my calculations, I'm a law-abiding citizen, yeah? I don't go over the speed limit, yeah? I don't litter anywhere. I should be paying them at least £10. That's it. That is all they should be asking for me, £10. Why are they asking me for grands? Why are they asking me for grands? How am I supposed to live fine, babe, soft lifestyle if they just want my money?
was doing 20-hour days over Christmas. 20 hours. I collapsed in this office. Just behind me here, I collapsed. I collapsed for what? For HMRC just gone. Oh, guys. No, I'm mad depressed. I'm about to go and see a man about a dog to start my shot line. Honestly, and if that don't work out for me, if you start seeing me post looking for bank cards, Halifax, Lloyds, TSB, £100,000 tonight in your account, just please, let's just get on this fraud thing together, because it's not okay. It's not okay what they're doing to me.
If you work in construction, then this one is for you. So my last post I done about us struggling through Christmas financially, and that's getting us all stressed out. Got a lot of comments saying about the HMRC tax return. Don't forget, people, that tax return's about £2,500, £3,000. That's not even enough to cover our holidays for the year. If you think about it, our self-employed workers don't get paid for holiday. So we have to pay for our own holidays out of our own pocket. So that tax return gets eaten into very, very quickly. So that £3,000 will probably only be able to afford one holiday for the self-employed worker. So that's why we don't take holidays, because we can't really afford them. And 9 times out of 10, we're too tight to have a few days off here and there. But really, we should take more time out, but we just don't. Stay safe out there. Keep hustling.
HMRC has issued a warning to anyone with more than $3,500 in savings because they could be due an unexpected tax bill, and this is because interest rates have been high over the recent years, which will unknowingly have put many people over the interest allowance. And if you're a basic rate taxpayer, then this means that you can earn up to £1,000 in interest tax-free, but this number falls to just £500 if you're a high rate taxpayer, so that's anyone earning over £50,270. There's an even bigger risk for those who've got cash saved up in fixed rate terms, because these tend to pay out at the end of the term. So if you put £4,000 into a 3-year savings account at a 5% interest rate, then if you're a higher rate taxpayer, you'll be paying 40% on everything above £500. And because the thresholds haven't risen in line with wages in recent years, and yet the price of everything is rocketing, this means that many people are now paying a stealth tax despite not being much better off. But you can actually get around the limited interest allowance by putting money into a cash ISA, and this means that any interest is tax-free, and the ISA allowance is £20,000 every tax year, and the rule here is to use it or lose it.
Does anyone else get sick to death of the messages you get from HMRC? Like, you need to submit a tax return. I've got until the 31st of January. Like, it's how many days until Christmas? Why the are you hounding me? Like, I will do my tax return before January 31st, like I normally do. Why the hounding me? If I don't send it, fine me. Just stop harassing me, mate. God.
I'm stressed again because a few months ago I got a letter from HMRC saying that I owed, I think it was just under £500 in tax, and it's from a few years ago, and I went on my online account with HMRC and it said that there was nothing to pay. It was all up to date. I then contacted a tax professional to look at my bank statements, my pay slips, everything like that, and get them to give me the okay, I'm not in the wrong, because when I contacted HMRC, they were basically useless and were like, well, if that's what it says, that's what you've got to pay. And I wanted to dispute it. So I got all of that documents, put together a tax professional to say, you do not owe this money. Sent it off to HMRC. They said they would review it. And today I've been contacted by a debt collection agency. Love that for me. What do I do from here? Because the debt collection agency will not deal with my complaint. They've said, well, they gave us the debt, we have to collect. It's nothing to do with HMRC anymore. So HMRC haven't processed my complaint, my appeal, whatever you want to call it. And now they've also added on loads of charges because it's a debt collection agency. It's going to affect my credit score. So what do I do? Who do I complain to? And how do I get this taken care of? Or do I just have to pay it, even though I have proof from a tax professional that I did not owe this money?
Now, we all know that calling HMRC is a thankless task. It's not uncommon to hear of people waiting on hold for more than an hour only to be cut off at the last minute. HMRC's view is that we should all be using its online services rather than calling the helplines. But if those online services were as easy to use and as effective as HMRC claims, why is it that so many people still prefer to try and use the helplines and have to put up with our awful on-hold music? Perhaps if HMRC answered a few more of those calls, the problems wouldn't be quite so serious. Now, this week, the Financial Secretary to the Treasury, Victoria Atkins, told the House of Commons that it takes 500 workers to answer the 3 million simplest calls to HMRC's helplines every year. Now, that sounds like quite a lot, but actually, and remember we're talking about the simplest calls that don't take very long, it actually equates to just 4 calls per worker per hour. That sounds pretty poor to us. What do you think?
Is it just me, yeah, or has anyone else been overtaxed recently? I've looked at my last 2 paychecks from January and now February's just gone, and I've realised £600 over the course of 2 months has been taken away from me. So I've gone and I've shouted the head of HR, and they're saying, literally, it's not us, it's literally the government taking out your salary. So then I've called the government, and they're saying, basically, the reason why we've taxed you the £600 over the course of 2 months is because of the interest that was made of your savings this year. I didn't even know I get taxed on how much interest I make on my savings, but yeah, am I the only one that's going through this?
Yeah, I'm starting this one with just like scratching my head because I can't believe this. We have the great news about Donald Trump, but then we get knocked back a million times by our Labour Party. Have you heard what they now want to do when we receive gifts, when we receive monetary gifts for a birthday or an anniversary? They now want us to be declaring that, to pay tax on it. So hang on a minute. Somebody's gifting me £20 for my birthday that they've paid their taxes on already. You're then wanting me to declare that as income. Are you being serious? I'm not going to declare a monetary gift from somebody as income. And incentives from work. You get sort of scratch cards. Have I got to declare a £1 scratch card then, or a £5 scratch card? Or I win a £50 meal for a restaurant voucher. Have I got to declare that and pay tax on it? What on earth? Oh my God, what on earth is happening to this country? Why is he saying we have now got to do this? I think he really does hate us, doesn't he? This could be next though. Can you imagine if this was actually true? The way I just reacted, that would be a genuine reaction, how we'd all feel. Some of us will probably even go and really explode. It's not happened, but can you really imagine if this did happen? And it wouldn't surprise me with how our leader is. Did you get this far? Did I get ya? Let me know in the comments.
Let's see if I get right through. I doubt it. No. Oh, come on. I might be the next in line. With any luck. Come on. I mean, it is 9 o'clock in the morning. Shouldn't be that busy. Your call is important to us. How long has it been now? 5 minutes 65. Come on. Surely can't be busy this time in the morning. How big's the queue? How big is the queue? Come on. But mine. Oh, I need to go to the toilet. Or better if they answer, I'm on the toilet. I don't want them to hear me. No, just stay here a minute. Hello? There's a meal waiting for. Oh. If this is £1 a minute, I swear to God, I'm gonna go nuts. I'm getting anxiety. 32 minutes on hold! I swear to God, if you don't answer me, I'm gonna send you a shitty email. Oh, come on! But if I hang up now, it'll be all of a waste, won't it? It'll be a waste. Oh, my calf! Oh, no!
HMRC loves to remind you what you owe, but forgets what they owe you. People are being fined, ignored, and pushed to breaking point by a system built on fear, not fairness. Had your refund vanish? Spent hours on hold for nothing? You're not alone. Drop your HMRC horror story in the comments and hit subscribe if you're done being bullied by the taxman.